Come on, let's go.
Hello everyone, it's Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead. He's getting everything kind of all going for us, and I don't know where, yeah, there we went. All right.
There we go.
Is it working?
It's working.
Why is it, oh, never mind, I see what it says.
Okay.
I'm going to have trouble reading this, I'm afraid.
Well, this can come up anywhere here. You can put that in where you need.
See if we can see it a little bit better.
Yeah, we got it expanded out. We can see pretty good. Good evening from the Deep South.
We missed last week, and we really
did.
You know, the weather was kind of bad. It wasn't rough, but the wind was making, and the rain was making our internet go in and out, and we knew it's bad anyway. So if we,
Volume's all the way up, 100%. Must be on your end.
yeah, check your volume. Is everybody hearing okay, I guess?
Somebody said the volume needs to go up. We are far away from it. Now that is...
And I don't tend to talk as loud as I should, I guess. I'll try. So
there's another person said, can barely hear you. Do we have, let's see here. I got to look at something, see here.
Is that on?
No, it's not working though.
All right, let me look. Pull it down to the other one. All right, that one's working.
Mic, the auxiliary mic's working. The webcam is not working.
It should be.
It's not moving, so...
A lot of them are saying it's fine.
Let's see here. No.
It says it's okay.
Okay.
It was just so, I don't know what it was.
Okay. Loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Okay.
Well, we missed last week because of the weather. And that was kind of, I don't know, we kind of miss when we don't have a live stream.
It's kind of... We don't even feel right when we don't have a live stream. It's been so long since we've, been doing this.
More than 5 years.
Yeah. Which tells y'all we have not had a Saturday night to ourselves in almost 5 years.
That kind of sounds like parents once kids are born.
Yeah.
No, but we missed last week. We've got a lot of things that people sent, and I had them all ready for last week.
Yeah, I'm wearing one of them.
He's wearing one of them. Mr. Rendell sent this.
Yep.
And it's a farmall hat.
It is. It's a farmall hat. There we go. The nice farmall hat.
And so I had it hid in the office, and he goes, "Where's my hat?" And I'm like, I told Mr. Rendell you'd be after that hat.
Yeah, I was frantic. I was running around the house. Where is my hat? And she says, it's in the office.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, as long as I know where it's at.
And so we've got a lot going on tonight. I've got a whole lot of stuff we're going to show you off and on in just a few minutes. And we're going to talk about...
Wait a minute. Danny, I've never seen you without glasses. I never wear glasses.
Danny never has wore glasses.
I only wore glasses whenever I did All God's Children. I wore glasses because I was reading the fine print in the Bible. But I don't wear glasses. Now, I am going blind in my right eye, but I don't wear glasses.
No, he's never wore glasses on Deep South, I don't guess. But anyway, we got a lot of things we want to show that should have been showed last week, and some of them we got this week, and people have been really, really good. And if you see a light hit my eyes off and on, we've got some light so we're not in the dark here. And if I don't sit a certain way, the light's going to flicker, and so if I go
I can
like
sit
this,
any way I want to sit. It don't matter.
I just try not to move too much, which is not easy for me to do. I can't read if I move my glasses like that. Cindy said she found her peppercorn plants. Good.
Good.
Her seeds.
Yeah. Good. Jan says Danny's beard is awesome white. I'm old, Jan. I'm a poor Santa Claus.
A very poor Santa Claus. Idaho Hoosier. All these food and fertilized businesses burning and explosion.
And this is true on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, we saw that.
We saw that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's
what is
amazing.
Up with Wednesday and Thursday?
Actually, something just burnt just a little while ago in New Orleans down here. Another refinery is on fire in New Orleans. So
today?
Well, it's now.
Oh, hello from Stonewall, Mississippi. I actually know where that is. The Last Cowboy Cabin. Oh. The Gulf Coast Urban Farm with Dolores.
All right.
So she's got to be somewhere on the Gulf Coast. Oh,
Wonder your hair is pretty.
It just got washed.
She just washed it.
I usually pull it up, and
yeah.
I just washed it, so it is what it is. Cul-de-sac says there's a nasty storm headed her way. Okay, let me show y'all. Danny and I did a. Oops, I just dumped it. Here, hold it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on to what I can.
I just dumped part of it. Okay. Now we did an interview with Tag and B.
Yep.
And so I sent B a gift box with some stuff in it, and she got a peppercorn plant and some stuff out of my greenhouse. And Tag returned the favor.
Yep, he sent us a. Look at this, guys. This thing is.
I won't never figure it out. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Danny figured it out.
Oh yeah, this thing. Well, it's gotten wound around here, but anyway.
You gotta pull it back.
You push this in on something, and when you squeeze this down right here, like putting up tomato plants or tying your trees or anything like that, you mash it down like this, and when you let like that, it cuts it off, and you can tie something up. So, to me, that's pretty awesome.
And then they sent, what is this?
This here is like if you're going to do rabbit cages or anything to that notion. It's got a slide thing here. You know the little hog ring pliers? You always got to put the little clip in it, and then you got to reach in there and you got to clip it around something. This one loads like a stapler down the middle of it here, and you just keep clipping. As fast as you can clip, it just puts the clips on going down through there. So that makes it a whole lot easier, because we're thinking about getting some rabbits here in the near future as soon as I get through with my my barn. And that'll make making the new rabbit cages a whole lot simpler.
Yeah, and that is Life Done Free. And Tag is doing tools.
Yeah, Tag is doing tool time with Tag. That's true. That's what he called it.
Tool time with Tag.
Tool time with Tag.
Yeah.
From Life Done Free.
Let me see what I'm going to show now. We
got so many things from last week and this week to show.
These two I'm holding on to.
Yeah.
Okay, this week I didn't bring in everything. 4 Jars is a company that I work with, and I get a lot of flack on this. People sending me messages about this, but 4 Jars. This is the company, this is the people that I have been messaging back and forth with. I've got some of their product, 4 Jars lids. They are made in China, and I can't help that. That's where they get theirs, but they are working. So far, what I've used has worked. They sent me a box of candy, some teas, and 2 nice towels. Now, their lids are working. Everybody I've talked to that's used their lids is working. So, y'all, I'm trying to find an alternative, because a lot of the ball lids, I've had people in the last 2 or 3 weeks saying they're having fails with ball lids.
We had one fail.
Yeah, and one I don't mind.
Yeah,
if
one's
you're having
okay.
a lot of failures, we got to find something else. And yes, I don't particularly like having to buy everything from China, but when you start buying stuff, look on every item you buy and put it back if it's got China on it. And I promise you, you will come out of the store with little to no items. Almost none.
Starla, I don't grow artichokes, so I can't help you out there, girl.
This came from Miss Joyce, Nanny Nash.
Nanny Nash sent this.
This is Miss Lippy's mother-in-law. A Deep South cookbook. It's a countertop recipe book. And then this is Danny's.
Let me put it to you like this. Let me find this thing up here where y'all
I know Nanny wants you to read that. She's sitting there waiting.
She's waiting for me to say this. This is called Ass Kicking Original.
It's hot sauce.
It's hot sauce.
All right, and then we got some cards. One from Miss Linda, and she is in Illinois. One from Sari, and she is in Pennsylvania. And this one is from Ireland.
Wow.
Full of hope.
Full of hope.
From Ireland, y'all. Isn't that awesome?
Isn't that beautiful?
And then this one is from Minnesota. Stephen. And I think it's probably got, it's Stephen and Shelley.
Yeah, Stephen and Shelley.
Except this one. And then this one is from Georgia. Georgia Gal. See if I can get it where it's showing. Georgia Gal. She's always on here.
Yep, she's on here tonight.
And then these came with your part. What was that? A seed thing. Mark Green.
Yeah, Mark sent a planter plate from my
Mark and Rebecca.
And they sent some. These look like black-eyed peas. That's black-eyed peas.
They're I'll have to read to know, but it's a type of pea.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I always love seeds.
And then we got some books.
Oh, the books are nice. Carrots love tomatoes, guys. That is a fantastic book.
You know more about it because I hadn't been reading on this one. It's about successful gardening.
Oh yeah, it talks all about it.
Planting.
Companion planting with them and stuff like that. And it's not just about carrots and tomatoes. There's all kinds of other stuff in this book, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's about all companion planting.
Yeah. And I tell you, to be honest with you, the situation we're going into in the world today, all the books you can have that have to do with companion planting, insect repellents, and all that kind of stuff, you probably need to be gathering them up. I'm very thankful that someone sent this book to us because it really does have a lot of good information in it.
A lot of people say, Ron says it's a good book. Everybody's saying good book, awesome book. Miss Slippy said one of her favorites. All right, this one was sent. Tea. It's a whole bunch of teas, and I got to figure out. Let me see who's in it. Oh, Miss D. Miss D and her daughter came and visited with us. Miss D sent me the tea book, and it has a lot of different varieties of teas, reasonable ways to make them, plus the healing benefits of all the teas. So, and y'all, I was really surprised. Some of them, y'all have to just read. Now, I'm not sure who sent this book. I got it yesterday, day before yesterday, and it might have been Jan. And if it was Jan, she can tell me, but I can't remember. God helps those who help themselves. And I started reading on this book, and there is some really good information in here. And I might do a Crazy Days on it after I read some more on it. I really like that book. And then...
Nadia... some cucumber varieties only put on female blooms and some only put on male blooms. Some plants put a lot of male blooms on to start with to attract the pollinators, and as soon as the pollinators start fooling with the male blooms, then they start putting female blooms on. So if you don't have any pollinators, that could be a good sign, being you're only getting male blooms. Could be the simple fact you just don't have a lot of good pollinators, because usually that's what sets the plant to go ahead and start making female blooms.
All right, somebody asked for the name of this clip thing.
It's not a name, it has a number on it.
It's DeWalt. It says it's a hog ring pliers kit.
Hog ring plier kit P7WD or something like that. Or DW, P7.
P7DW.
DW, yeah.
That's it, by DeWalt. Okay. I just happened to see that one, so I wanted to catch that right quick. Now, Jan from Not a Real Farm sent me this book, Working the Roots. Y'all, I was so totally amazed when I got it. I flipped a page and I started reading, and it made me think of my grandmother. This is a lot about the ancestry in the Deep South and the way they cook their medicines, and most of them, I mean, even castor oil. But one of the first things I saw was black drop, and I'm going, oh, I remember that. Yep. My granny did that, and one of them was pine tree sap.
Turpentine.
Well, we didn't call it turpentine. My granny had a pine tree. She said, when we skin our knee, she said, you know where the pine tree is. And we'd have to go out there and get that sap and put it on our skinned knee, and it would heal it. And so this working the roots, it's got a lot of good information in there from the Deep South. I think most of it is from Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, maybe some Appalachian in there too. I can't remember, but it's from there down.
Doug, I do not use synthetic oil in my tractor. I only use 30 weight high detergent oil. Those motors were not designed to use synthetic oil in them. I try to stay with as original as I can.
Okay, where did my barbecue sauce go? Oh, don't knock all my books off. I got my barbecue sauce sitting there holding. It was holding it's a paperweight right now.
Yeah.
The other one's in the refrigerator. All right. Xavier and Lorene from Texas sent Terry Black's barbecue. This is the sweet and tangy, and I'm using it as a paperweight so I wouldn't forget it tonight. And then the other one was just original, and I've been using it. I've used it on sausage and chicken, and it is really good. So thank you, Xavier and Lorene.
The question's been asked several times. Can you start a garden over an old burn pile? Tex Mistio. You better check the pH on it if you do, because an old burn pile like that depends on what's been burnt in it. Now, if it's just been all weeds and bushes and trees and stuff like that, you'll have to test the pH in it, because wood ash is raises the pH very high. So just do a pH test and find out what the pH is. If the pH is somewhere around 6.8 to 7, you're good for some plants. But if you got acidic loving plants, it's not going to work out for you. You're going to have to keep them in the acid soils.
There's Palmetto Paratrooper. Hey, he
Whoa.
said he tried the one chip challenge. It wasn't super spicy, but it'll dry your mouth out so you can't swallow without drinking something. I'm not sure what the one chip challenge is, but sounds like it might have been something freeze-dried, because you do need to drink some water and stuff with freeze-dried foods.
Bama Fan said, I thought all oil has synthetics in it now. No, I use lawnmower engine oil. The motor oil for lawnmowers is a 30 weight HD oil that you can still buy. You can get it from Walmart.
There's Permapastures. He has a new daughter-in-law.
He said he just flew home. Glad I made it in time. I tell you what, brother. You and your wife, whenever I saw y'all standing up there, I told Wanda, I said, I don't know if I know these people or not. I said, that don't look like my brother and sister.
That don't look like Billy and Michelle.
No. I said, man, them people look awesome now. I don't know if I can associate with people who look that good.
Now, William looked awesome, but William always
looked like William.
He always looks awesome.
He always looked very distinguished.
But Billy and Michelle
I don't know if they may be too high up for us now.
I think so.
You know, I mean, they might be too classy.
They got real classy. They look nice. Okay, the other thing was I got horseradish from Mike and Jane Clay. And so I've got the horseradish in a pot in Danny's greenhouse. So I didn't want to forget that. And we've got magic sticks.
Yep.
Y'all saw me do the goji berry thing, and Ron Foster, who sent me mine, sent these, and I'm going to give these away. But I'm going to do something unusual so that we don't take up time here. Goji berries are very prolific. If you don't know what you're doing, they could get out of hand. So you have to read the directions and do everything you're supposed to do and keep them trimmed, or plant them in a pot. But the giveaway is, if you guys are serious about growing goji berries, send me an email. In the email, send me your address, and I will pick a few people out. And y'all see, I have plenty. Ron sent me a supply. I'm going to pick out a bunch of people and send them a few of these to a few people. And so don't feel bad if you don't win, but send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com so I don't have to sit here and just figure out who all's winning tonight. We'll announce all the winners next week. And so email me if you want goji berries. These things, mine are already got leaves all over them. My daughter's has got leaves on them. And so we're excited to share these because so many people wanted them and didn't know where to get them. So we're going to send some out.
Mr. Danny, best small tractor for a 2-acre farm. Depends on what all you want to do on that farm. I mean, a little Kubota's fine. We've had really good success with our Kubota on a 10-acre farm. I wouldn't go too small. We got a 2501. I wouldn't go much smaller than that. Maybe a 24 horsepower, maybe a 23. I wouldn't go any less than that because you really need them to do some pretty serious jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I love my Kubota. I mean, my Cub. The Cub is fine. If you're going to just garden, a Cub farmall is all you need.
Yeah.
And let me go ahead and say something about...
I had one more thing I got to think about. Let me find it.
Guys, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for your support for Justin over at Metcalf Mills. He more than met his goal on the Kickstarter. He and I were praying that he would go $10,000 over his goal, and technically with what came in behind the scenes and what came in from the Kickstarter, he actually made that. So what we're excited about is the simple fact that Mr. Justin is going to be able to get this thing off and get it running good, and hopefully get them things to, get them kicked out there pretty quick and be able to help a lot of people. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'm just being honest with you. I don't know how much more time we have before everything goes crazy. I mean, literally, we're getting updates almost daily as to just how bad some of the situations are everywhere, and it is it's not good. It's not good.
Somebody had asked me before, did you ever talk bad about goji berries?
Me?
You never even knew what they were.
I never knew what a goji berry was. I mean, I
had somebody in my...
I watched permaculture. The guy who does permaculture all the time. I watch him a lot, and he had goji berries on his place right there in his backyard.
I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the...
He's on a lot of our chats a lot of times. He'll show up.
I know who
you know who I'm talking about.
I don't know how his name's listed.
I'm trying to think of his channel's name. Gosh, that's what happens when you get old, okay?
Well, there's so many of them that have I'm sorry, Billy, permapasture. He's changed.
There's a lot of them that has permaculture in them.
Permaculture.
Yeah.
Abundant permaculture?
No.
He's in his backyard. I do know.
He's in his backyard, and Permaculture Homestead.
Is that it?
It's Permaculture Homestead. Said he lives near me. Is it in South Carolina or somewhere like that?
Palmetto. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't David the Good, yeah.
No, it wasn't David the Good, but he has goji berries in his all the time, and
I don't remember you ever talking about them.
But I've never talked about them. No.
Yeah. Well, somebody said they thought you talked bad about them, and I said, well, let me ask.
No, I don't. I've never even talked about goji berries.
So
now, what I have talked about is those. Which one of the gooseberries?
Gooseberries, yes.
Now, gooseberries were outlawed in South Mississippi down here where we live because they were so invasive. They just started taking over everything down here, and they made it where you couldn't plant them. It was illegal.
Yeah. So when I give away these right here, one person out of all that I give away is going to win I'm going to send one of Ron Foster's books, The Bug Out Gardening Guide. Okay, this book is not just for bugging out gardening, it's for staying home gardening. And I had one lady send me a message about it, and she said, hey, I just ordered that book and got it in, and she said, it's not all about bugging out. And I said, no, he's got a lot of good information in there. So I'm going to send one book with one of the winners of that too. So I did want to mention that because I'd forgotten the book and left it yonder.
Verna says, have we ever harvested rose hips? They're supposed to be high in vitamin C. Yes.
Back in about 15, 20 years ago, well, it's been about 20, 25 years ago, when I first started studying herbs, I had a mixture for goats, and since then I've lost it. But back then I had a lady, she and I came up with a mixture for her goats. I didn't have goats, but she did. And she was paying an astronomical price for the goat mixture for her goats. And it was an additive just to keep them healthy. And it had rose hips in it. So I kept rose hips all the time back then. And I mixed that combination up for her so she didn't have, it was a lot cheaper for me to mix it than it was for her to buy it.
Oh, that was a question went by. I got to go back and look. Oh, I can't do it that way. I have to do it this way.
Yeah. All right, you went way back.
Oh, it was right here somewhere. Do you spray your apple trees? No, I do not spray my apple trees. You know, any garden channel at high elevation. Permapasture Farms on here. They're at a high.
He's about as high as you can get.
Yeah, he's way up there.
Go look at his land like this.
It's like he's
part
got like
of his land's down here and part of his land's up here.
Yeah.
Would you recommend planting sweet onions on DeWalt landscape fabric? We have a video from last year.
Yeah.
That's Flutie Lick.
We have a video about that, Jared.
They did awesome on it. They do really well.
In your climate, they'll probably do better than they did here. We had a problem with fire ants here.
Yeah.
And that where you're at, you don't have the fire ant problems we had here, so they should do fine from you. Just don't bury them too deep in the ground.
Dan at Permaculture Food Forest.
Permaculture Food Forest. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Right there.
I knew it had permaculture. I just couldn't remember. How can we avoid what appears to be cedar rust on apple tree leaves?
Get rid of the cedar trees. That's the only way you're going to do it.
If you've got any cedar trees around.
Guys, oh, somebody took Farmer Bill's thing away. I was just reading it.
He took it away. Put it back, Farmer Bill.
Put it back, Farmer Bill. I was just reading that.
All right, guys, we have a couple more giveaways, and so y'all stay tuned throughout the night. I've got a couple more books to give away.
Yeah.
And we've got an unusual way of giving them away tonight.
Let's see here. Man, every time I get to read something...
All right, thank you for the sweet potato video for how to grow and use slips. We have 4 slips started. Good.
Good, Lori. I'm glad that's working.
How many of you've done planted?
I've planted probably 60 or 80 so far. Mine's just now really starting to kick it in, coming on good.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Have you ever planted lady cream peas? Yes. That used to be my kid's favorite, and my mother-in-law back in the day, many years ago, that was her favorite. She finally found lady cream peas after hunting them for years and years, and I've planted some here. I finally found some. Somebody sent me some seed.
I know what it was. The question that went by was, has our sugar cane started sprouting yet that we planted last fall? Yes, ours.
We have a video Monday.
We have a video coming up Monday about it. Ours is about a foot tall right now, and it's already been fertilized and everything. So yeah, it's ours is doing good.
Trying to figure out which would be. This is Farmer Bill's. Which would be better, a high tunnel or a greenhouse? I have an area for 10 by 20 space available.
You're going to need a...
check out the Remington
Check out
solar.
the Remington solar one. That's probably going to be your best bet. The sides roll up on it. You can get a 10 by 20 in that exactly. And it's made out of good heavy steel. I mean, it's really, we're very well pleased with the one we got. Let me put it that way.
And we had somebody ask, would you talk about that a little bit?
I don't know what I could say about it. I mean, we've got videos all about it. I mean,
yeah, and we really do enjoy it. Danny's got a little tray, shelf in there, and we use that to pot plants and stuff. Right now we've got things, I've got my goji berries sitting in pots and trays in there with water, and he's still got a few seeds started. And
I got some started in there still.
I've got my 2 GreenStalk's in there, and they're doing really well in there. We may have to roll the sides up this week. It's fixing to get hot.
Do you spray your apple trees for worms and bugs? No, we don't spray any of our trees for anything.
Yeah.
If I had to choose only 3 vegetables to grow, which 3 would it be? Peddling profits, it would be sweet potatoes would definitely be one.
Yeah.
Irish potatoes would definitely be another one.
And I would have to go with green beans.
And green beans would probably be the other one because they're just so prolific. I mean, they just produce so much.
You could live off those. You might get tired of them, but you could live off those.
Bill says, does my Kubota have a regen system? No, I refuse to own a regen system on anything. That is a governmental. Well, I better not use the language that I think.
Carl Price said he just planted 186 slips that he grew himself.
We usually plant around 400 to 600, so I'm hoping we meet our goal, because ours kind of started off a little slow this year because it kept staying so cold.
But you have several rows already.
I'm working on 4 rows right now. Yeah. I've got 3.5 of them done.
Any tips on planting grapes?
We have grapes growing in our high tunnel. I mean, we have them growing in a 30-gallon pot. Just keep them watered and fertilized on a regular basis. I mean, so far ours is doing pretty good.
Does garden lime help with pest control?
Yes.
Are you saying the bird flu that infected my friend's chicken house was not real? Did you say that?
I didn't say nothing about no bird flu.
I will take things the wrong way.
I will say this: the bird flu that's jumping to humans. No, that's not natural.
It's not natural. He didn't say
it wasn't real. I didn't say it wasn't real. I said it's not. And I will tell you this: it's not natural.
There's a difference.
There is a difference. There is an H1N1 virus out there that is taking out a lot of chickens. It's man-made. I will say that. But I didn't say anything about that virus. I don't know where that came from. Okay. These are the kind of people that cause problems.
What is the name of this gun?
It was in the pack there. It's called, there was a piece of paper laying there with it.
Okay.
ABC tape tool. An ABC tape tool.
Maybe that'll help. I forgot to tell them that.
You need to be at least 100 yards, Southern Blessed Homestead. Your cedar trees need to be at least 100 yards from your apple trees in order for them not to have a problem. I just planted my garden today in Tennessee. Am I late? Well, depends on what part of Tennessee you live in, but probably not.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What else?
Gojis have huge, dangerous thorns once they're well established.
That's why I said, if y'all want Goji starts, I want to give them to somebody that wants them. I don't want to just give them to people and then they throw them away. So if you want Goji starts, you send me an email, because they do have thorns. And we have a lot of trees here that have thorns.
We got lots of trees here that have thorns on them.
We've been picking mayhaws.
Yeah.
And there's big thorns on them, I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be very careful. And anything natural, well, not anything, but a lot of your natural plants have thorns. That's their way of protecting them from predators. And the birds still get in my mayhaws.
Yeah, they'll still get to them. What will be the first thing to go as things deteriorate? Food or weather? Weather's going to be the first thing to deteriorate. I mean, that's a known common sense thing there. Food is going to be right on its heels, and bottled water and all that kind of stuff will eventually not be very far behind it.
Pill bugs, how to control them?
I don't know. We don't have a problem with pill bugs. We don't have a problem with a lot of insects, but if you have a heavy insect problem, it's usually a sign of not very fertile soil. And I hate to say that, but I mean it's the honest truth. If you do really good permaculture, on your property and your land is really nutritious and got lots of earthworms, I mean, everything's just working really, really good and working in harmony, usually you don't have a lot of problems with a lot of different bugs.
Okay, so tonight, I know somebody's asking some questions in there about the topic. It should be, we ain't even got close to it.
I just come in here, I don't even know what the topic, I don't even know what the topic is.
Yeah, we get asked all the time, how do you know how much food to prepare for or to stash up for a family of 4? And so Danny and I only know a family of 2. But we can tell you what we do. Okay, so we have videos on. Danny did one on breakfast, and then turned around and did one on lunch and lunch and supper, I guess, and snacks. But the way we figure things, like if we know that we're going to eat green beans, let's just use that as a thing. Green beans. We eat at least 3-quart jars a week. Maybe 4, but at least 3-quart jars a week of green beans. So then do the math. 3 times 52. You got to know, you got to can that many if that's how much you're going to eat. Now, if your garden produces more than that, you'd go ahead and can that too. And you've got an excess in case your garden doesn't work next year or you don't get as many next year. Or you can give them away if you want to. You only want to do 1 year at a time. But 3 times 52, you got 156. That's a lot of green beans. But Danny and I can a lot. But then you can subtract a little bit because you're going to be eating some fresh. But as a rule, I would just figure it that way. And we do that with everything we can. We try to figure out how many we think we'll eat a year, and we over can.
Yeah.
Just saying, don't stop at what you think you're going to eat. Over can.
Thank you, Lord Dorkington. We get asked all the time, like our onion video we did the other day. People's asking, what are y'all going to do with all those onions? We're going to eat them all. You know, you would be surprised how many onions you eat a year if you eat onions like we do. I mean, we eat lots of onions. We eat lots of garlic. We eat lots of sweet potatoes. We eat lots of green beans.
Lots of peppers.
Lots of peppers. I mean, we don't go to the store. Irish potatoes, somebody made a comment and said, I showed a video here a while back of our planting our Irish potatoes in that whole field over by the cabin. He said, what are y'all going to do with all those potatoes? Man, it must be 500 pounds of them. I was like, well, the average 2 people will eat 500 pounds of potatoes in a year. I mean,
most people do not realize with potatoes, because they say, I'll buy a 5-pound bag and I'll let them ruin. I won't even cook them all. And I go, but did you eat any kind of soup this week in a can? If it had potatoes in it, you did potatoes. How many French fries did you go out and buy or whatever? That's potatoes. How many mashed potatoes in those flakes and stuff? That's potatoes. When you stop and think how many potatoes you actually eat a week, most people don't realize just because they didn't do it fresh doesn't mean they didn't eat potatoes. So on an average, you need a lot of potatoes because you're going to want to eat them in a variety of ways. And somebody asked what we were drinking. We are drinking
muscadine juice.
Scuppernong.
Oh, scuppernong. I'm sorry. No, that's muscadine. It's pink.
Maybe muscadine.
That's muscadine there. Yeah, scuppernong is the clear. They're asking now, and guys, I don't know how to answer this question. Several people have asked the question, so how many plants do I need to make that many jars a day to make that many beans? I don't know. Wanda and I
we just plant a lot.
We just plant 3 or 4 rows or something like that, and we fertilize the heck out of them, and we pick them on every other day, and it just works out. We've learned about how many rows to plant. I don't know how many plants that is because we don't ever pay attention to that. We just plant, you know?
Yeah. And it's really hard for us to judge how much because sweet potatoes, we usually plant lots and lots and lots. And he's cut down the areas. We're trying to plant them, but in different areas this year. And so I don't know how that's going to work out. Plus, we want to put some at the end, you know, like when we get through with the garden, we're going to put some in containers and grow some in containers.
Justin must be in here because everybody keeps...
I did. I saw him.
Oh, did you? Well, Justin, my friend, congrats, man. I mean, me and you talked about this, and I am so glad you made it.
Brooke says, will crawdads or crayfish eat goldfish? I ordered crayfish and snails for my pond.
I wouldn't have ordered crawfish. I'm not gonna lie to you. We've got
we want to get rid of.
We're trying to get rid of them on our property because they destroy everything. We go down to our mayhaw tree, and they got big old holes in the ground, this big around, and mounds sticking up there that high, and you know the things fall down in them, or you trip over them, and it's just. And then now they're getting all around the pond, and we're worried about them digging holes in the dam and stuff like that. And no, I wouldn't even put
somebody's asking, how do we make our muscadine juice? We have a video. We have a video. Well, we have two different ways. One is the chinoy. Did I say it?
No.
Chinois.
Chinois.
Chinois. And it's one of an old-fashioned thing. Comes up, you have a pedestal or a stomper, I don't know what you call it. And you go around and around and around, and you squeeze the juice out, and it comes out the size like a strainer. And then Danny bought an apple press.
Yes, I bought an apple press.
And so we've been doing the apple press, and you just keep squeezing it down. It squeezes those berries, and the juice comes out, and you get perfect juice. You don't have any junk in it whatsoever.
There's no trash in it, nothing like that.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
And then I freeze it, and so I'm in the process of cleaning freezers out, so we're eating and drinking stuff out of the freezer now. And this juice was in one of the freezers, and I forgot about it, so we're finishing up the juice.
Does green beans do well in containers? If you got the right soil and the right nutrition for them jokers are Cadillac. They'll do just as good in a container if you watch everything and take care of them. You just have to have a lot of containers to raise a lot of them.
All right, Miss Lippy, let me ask her a question. Do we have somebody on the pest control? I've got to see if she sends me a name right quick. I don't know. Come on, Miss Lippy. We got somebody on pest control.
Where did we get the apple press? Where did I get that from? Did I order that from?
Amazon or Walmart, maybe?
It come off of Amazon, I believe. I also ordered the...
Jesus.
I also ordered the thing that crushes the apples too, because we'll use it for many different things.
All right, Jesus, Heysuz, must have asked a question about pest control or disease control somewhere along the line, and Miss Lippy's been watching out for somebody in the chat that was asking questions. Now, we were gifted this by Karen. Miss Karen has sent us books to give away before, and she said to give somebody the Jadam book. And Jesus, you are the winner. Oh, wait. Never mind, Miss Lippy. She's saying Danielle Terry. I'm sorry. Okay. Lippy, which Danielle Terry is the winner? Am I the... Okay. She said Danielle Terry. Is that right? Let me make sure.
No, she was talking to Jesus.
Okay,
we get it now.
Okay, Danielle Terry.
Okay,
let me start over. This was supposed to be easy. Lippy, quit talking to people. Okay. Danielle Terry, you must have asked a question about pest control somewhere along the line. And so you are the winner of this book, the Jadam Organic Pest and Disease Control. And I'm going to send that out if you will send me your address at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. And y'all thank Miss Karen for this book to be able to give away. And we have another one in a few minutes. Danielle Terry is the winner. So, Danielle. Sorry, Jesus. I may have to find a book for her, too.
Is 7 dust okay to use on the garden? No, we don't. We personally don't use it. We don't put anything with carbaryl, because that's what it is carbaryl. We don't put any of that on anything we have here. You know, we just don't do it.
Miss Lippy said it's Danielle's first year of gardening. Okay, so Danielle, send me an email, and we will get this book out to you.
how did you decide where to purchase your land and why Mississippi? Well, I bought this land, gosh, 30 years ago, and I've lived all over the place, but Mississippi is the cheapest state to live in.
We are the. I looked on the map. We're like #1.
Yeah, we're the cheapest state to live in.
But if you buy land, it ain't.
But no, if you buy land, land's expensive here. But the living, you know, I mean, everything here is pretty cheap and pretty reasonable. Taxes is pretty reasonable, unless you live in the 6 coastal counties like we do, and then they're under the Agenda 21, and that's you know, there's rules that go along with that. You have international codes and all that kind of stuff. But if you live anywhere else in Mississippi, it's really nice.
Yeah. All right, so I have one more giveaway because this is quarter till, and I don't want to forget before we do this. All right, Miss Slippy.
Is Ron Foster's book on Amazon,
yes,
or can you purchase it directly from him? Yes,
you can buy all of Ron's books on Amazon.
Yeah.
He has, I don't even know. He's got quite a selection.
He's got a bunch.
And The Longest Road, I think, is the first one I read. I think it's called The Longest Road. Very good book. Eye-opener.
How much land do we have? We have 10 acres left. We sold all the rest of it. We have 10 acres.
What do you control Mexican bean beetles with? The green beans.
We don't have a problem with Mexican bean beetles.
What is my favorite herb? I guess I like lavender. I don't know. I just like lavender, and I like lavender tea and stuff like that. And I'm actually growing lavender in my high tunnel this year. So, okay. So on the second book,
there's Patty.
Patty.
Jesse's Patty. She said, "I really enjoyed looking at your banana pepper tree."
Yeah, you got to tell them about Patty's banana pepper tree.
Oh man.
Patty and I went over to the high tunnel. And she won't live it down, will she?
She's probably not going to live that one down.
Danny has all those trees in there, and we were looking at all the trees, and she goes, "Oh, this tree is so pretty. I love this banana pepper tree." And I looked at her like, I'm like, "What?" And I come back and I said, "Danny, you got a banana pepper tree over there." And he goes, "What?" Patty had looked, and the little tag that's sticking in the pot says banana pepper, and it was which tree was it though?
It was one of the Empress peach.
It was a peach tree,
yeah,
because
dwarf,
it was in full bloom.
Yeah, dwarf peach, yeah. How do we know how often to fertilize our plants? We fertilize ours every 2 weeks.
Okay, so Miss Lippy said there is a winner on the second one. So tell me what who the winner is right quick before we start talking about it, so I know what we're doing. I'm mixing old moldy hay with partially composted wood chips. Do I need to add manure?
Well,
Captain Bubba.
You're going to have to add nitrogen, I can tell you that, because it's depleting it of nitrogen, breaking all that stuff down, so you're going to have to add a lot of nitrogen in it. Chicken fertilizer would be great.
All right, Lippy, what did Captain Bubba ask? I got to know, because I didn't see the comment, I guess. Danny may have answered it, but could you tell me what he asked? Thanks for your advice, guys. Thank you, Texas Mistio.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Captain Bubba asked so I can tell. Let's see. Where's she at?
Thank you, Patricia.
Tonight the giveaways are a little different. You don't know what we're giving away, and you don't know who we're giving it to.
I don't know. This is between her and Ms. Lippy. I don't even have a clue.
What I did, I gave Lippy a couple of things, and I said, you find out the people that asked this question, and then we're going to give the books to that person, because it means that they legitimately are looking for answers to the type books that we have. asked how to dry seeds for next year. So Captain Bubba asked how to dry seeds for next year. Now again, Miss Karen sent this book. It's called Seed to Seed, Seed Saving and Growing Techniques for the Vegetable Gardeners. This is a pretty awesome book, guys.
That's a real good book.
So y'all thank Miss Karen for this. And Captain Bubba, you're going to know how to save seeds for next year.
Send your information.
Send your information to deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. And this book is by Suzanne Ashworth, for anybody that's wanting to know where the book, what kind of book it is. And the reason I did this is because we get kind of confused with trying to pop up numbers and start and stop and all this. So I knew what the books were about, and I sent her an idea, and she just watched to see who in the chat was asking questions. And that way we know you guys are needing this type of book. What is the sea level where we are at?
350 feet. We are 350 feet above sea level. We are actually higher than a lot of the inland parts of Mississippi.
How long does it take seed potatoes to sprout? Mine's been planted 2.5 weeks. It could take a little longer than that.
It depends. The soil's got to warm up before they actually going to sprout. If your soil's still cold, they're just going to take longer.
Yeah, Danny does have some videos on saving seeds. We have a playlist, so you can type in Saving Seeds Deep South Homestead, and there should be several that pop up.
Can you grow corn and sweet potatoes together? I wouldn't advise it, because then you can't plow your corn, you can't lay it by. I mean, it takes a while to do that. And if you got these vines all in there, you can't get in there to plow it or lay it by.
How do you store potatoes and onions so they don't rot?
Keep them in a dry, cool place.
Miss Shirley says she enjoyed the twins this week over on Crazy Days. If you did, check out my daughter's channel. It is Raising Ronies. I think Miss Lippy and Miss Allison can probably put a link in there for you.
Patty says her goji berries are starting to sprout. When do you cover yours?
If they look like they're going to droop or something and they're getting too much sun, that's when you cover them to keep the sun off. If you don't have them in direct sun, they may not need covering. You just have to watch them. And I've got the instructions. All the people that send me emails about the goji sticks, I've got instructions printed out to go with them, so you don't have to guess.
Somebody asked, can you use fish emulsion every 2 weeks on your garden? Yes, but you're going to need more than just fish emulsion. I mean, fish emulsion is a good fertilizer to add to your garden, but you still need to make sure your plant gets all the other nutrition that it needs.
All right. Somebody says, we're new to gardening. Are there plants that you should not plant close to each other? This book right here is a good book. Carrots Love Tomatoes. Companion planting. It tells you what grows together, what not to put together. That's a good way to find out what grows side by side. Look up companion planting.
Wife was asking, is there any difference between pickle jars and mason jars? Yes, there's a big difference. Some jars are made to only water bath in. Some jars are made to pressure can in. There's a big difference between the jars.
Ashton was asking about books for survival. Ron Foster has one called Old Fart Survival Guide. Lots of good information on survival. First aid, I'm pretty sure Ron probably has one on first aid, but I couldn't tell you right offhand. He's in here, he might tell you. But I have prescription for natural healing. I use that for just about everything, and I'm sure I've got one on just first aid, and I can't remember what it's called, but I'll try next time maybe to have a first aid book in here where we can kind of show you some of them.
The question was asked, that rabbits are eating off the top of their onion plants. Will they still bulb? No. I suggest you get rid of the rabbits. If you want onions, you're going to have to get rid of the rabbits.
Somebody asked about their chickens eating potato plants. Will it hurt them?
You don't want to feed your chickens potato plants because they're poisonous.
I think they got out, or they're out and they ate them. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, you know, you don't want them eating them.
Yeah, they said their chickens ate their potato plants. They were just worried about the chickens. Yeah, you don't want them to be eating them. When there is no doctor, good also. Oh, that's the name of a book, When There Is No Doctor. Okay, check out When There Is No Doctor. That's the name of a book for first aid.
Yeah. Any luck with persimmons there by y'all? Persimmons grow great here, especially the wild ones. We have lots of wild persimmons here. That question was asked way a while ago. Do we have any persimmons here? And the answer is yes. We have wild ones everywhere. We have lots of tame ones planted now. We're waiting for them to actually get big enough to actually start bearing on a regular basis.
All right, what is an ideal temperature to store sweet potatoes?
Probably around 50 degrees. 50 to 60 degrees is the ideal storing temperature.
Somebody just bought asparagus. We have several asparagus videos. Check out how to plant them there because it is a process.
Would cedar mulch help with soil drying out? Yeah, but you do not want to use cedar if you can help it. You probably just want to use just regular mulch of some type other than cedar. Cedar gives off a lot of chemicals.
Somebody said something about onions. Hold on, let me see if I can get it back. Well, why is it not going? Oops. Danny, I followed your step-by-step for onions. I have a question. My onions are not bulbing. What am I doing wrong? I have spooned them, fertilized them, and a couple are bolting and not bulbing.
It depends on what variety you planted. Did you plant the right variety for the part of the country you live in? Were they short day, day neutral, long day? That's the biggest issue right there. And then if they start bolting and putting on seeds on the top, cut the middle out of it. Go ahead and cut it out, throw it away, and that will help it to bulb up a little bigger if it has enough leaves on it. If it don't have enough leaves, it won't do it.
The Dr. Earth phosphorus that you use in liquid form, Danny always
That's called Golden Bloom.
He calls it the wrong thing.
I always call it the wrong thing. It's called Golden Bloom from Dr. Earth liquid phosphorus.
Yeah.
We buy it by the 5-gallon container. We use it on everything when it starts blooming. And I actually attribute no squash bugs and no vine borers to that because when I started using that, ours went away.
Okay, so somebody said they did the math. They were saying that they needed more jars. Y'all, everybody needs more jars, and they have been in Walmart and other places in hardware stores. Right now, while you can get them, don't procrastinate. Don't say, I'll get them later, or when I start getting ready to can, I'll go get them. Go get them now. Our Walmart, we went in there last week to pick up some office supplies and stuff, and they were just jars everywhere.
They had plenty of jars, plenty of lids. I mean, I bought another whole box of lids and stuff, but I mean, they had
So go get your stuff now.
Yeah.
Don't wait and then whine and complain in 6 months saying, I can't find a jar anywhere. Well, you're not going to. Walmart gets them in right now, and when they're gone, they're gone. They may get a few in later and then a few more, but they're not going to get the big supply they get in the spring. So you need to get your stuff when it's available.
The gentleman said that he planted the short day varieties in South Alabama. The question is, have you been giving it a lot of nitrogen? Because onions need a lot of nitrogen. I put nitrogen to mine. I started doing it every 2 weeks, but I started doing it every week just to make sure I got enough. And I used calcium nitrate right toward the end. And as a matter of fact, we're about ready to start harvesting our onions because they're almost there.
All right, can you use garden soil instead of potting soil? It's probably just a term on the bag, but check what's in it.
The main thing is to check what's in it. Lots of your potting soil has time-release fertilizer in it, which actually gives your plant something to live on. Just regular garden soil is probably void of any nutrients.
How often do you use the Dr. Earth?
Once every 2 weeks.
Miss Vinny said she got her manual. Thank you for putting out these books. Laura said she picked up 6 packs of jars this week.
I've been buying 25-year Augustin Farms food buckets. No, I'm not even familiar with them. We do My Patriot Supply.
Yeah.
My mom says we have too many jars. I have to remind her that we need a lot more. Like Veronica, yeah, the average family needs about 3,000 jars. And I know that sounds like a lot, but the average family really is going to need about 3,000 jars and lids.
Yeah. There's my daughter raising Ronies. She's the one with the twins that I showed over on Crazy Days. I've got a video. We're going to do a conversation. I just got to see if the conversation we did this time is going to work or not, because we had twins making racket, plus we've got a lot of interruptions off and on, so I got to see if it's going to be okay or if we're going to have to sit down and do another.
The question was asked, can you use horse manure as long as it's eating pasture grass? Yes, you can. You can use horse manure.
All right. Ron said, talk about lubber grasshoppers. I gave up and just plant something they eat when in season. Thank you, Ron.
Flour.
I hate those things. They get in my high tunnel because I have to leave the doors open during the day. We've got screen on the sides and we got screen on the doors, but I've been leaving them open for pollinators to get in, and the little things are annoying.
Yeah, but flour does a number on grasshoppers.
Yeah, they don't like it.
They don't like it.
But not.
Do not use the masa harina or anything like that.
Don't use self-rising.
Don't use self-rising. Just use plain old white flour.
Yeah, the all-purpose.
And I'll be honest with you, a lot of your white flour now has DE in it, so it's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, but make sure it's all-purpose. And it should sprinkle it around. That for whatever reason, they don't like it.
It is one of those things that it's a good insect repellent. I know that.
Yeah. All right, so it is 9 o'clock. You guys can be putting up your prayer request, and we want to thank everybody that sent some things. We want to thank the ones that sent for giveaways, and we're going to have more seeds coming. Miss Starla has put another box in the mail.
Yes, so, David, we're alive.
Can you can mashed potatoes? I wouldn't.
I would not do mashed potatoes.
Most things like that you don't want to put in a jar. Just can them, and when you take them out, they're easy to mash.
Do we add any minerals into our soil? Yes, we add magnesium. I mean, we add lots of different minerals into our soil.
What's good to kill ants? Gasoline. That's it. Nothing. You just have to live with them.
I use gasoline. I'm not going to lie to you. I punch a hole down the middle of a fire ant bed and stir them up real good and pour some gas in it and then punch a hole back closed. And as the fumes come up through the bed, it kills every ant in that bed, and I move on.
When using liquid fertilizer, Danny always adds it to water.
Yes.
You weaken it down. Do not pour full force on anything.
Yes.
And we do add minerals to the soil.
Veronica. Yeah, we use magnesium and just potassium. We use lots of different things that we add to our soil.
Danielle Terry and Captain Bubba, send me an email. Anybody that wants the Goji sticks, send me an email. I saw somebody ask prayer for their son. Somebody asked prayer for their mom. Rose says she's overwhelmed. That's going on a lot lately.
Don't get overwhelmed. I mean, that's one reason I've just about quit talking about a lot of stuff. And let me say something. Wanda and I know now our phone has been tapped.
I gotta have it seen about, but I'm pretty sure. We don't talk about as much stuff as we used to talk about. We don't talk about anything. Matter of fact, I got rid of my phone completely. I don't even have a phone. Yeah.
Wanda still has hers, but we know that her phone has been tapped. So.
Well, we've had issues for a long time here, but it's the way it. What is it? It's not vibrate. Echoes and the things that's going on with it, and so I don't know. I'm just really tired of people listening. And I think that's been part of our problem here. So we're just going to kind of, Danny's not going to quit doing porch time. His porch time just does not just tell you everything you might want to know. You got to look for some stuff. But porch time is going to be porch time. And the rest of the video is just going to be what we're doing around here.
Yeah.
And it might not be as many videos.
Lynn, crushed chicken shells is fine in the garden. It's just that it'll take them a year or two to break down and get any benefit out of them, but they'll also stop slugs and snails and stuff like that, so it is good for the garden, yes.
Danny, would you please put out a notebook on what you put on all your plants, like what fertilizer or potash goes with what plant? Ooh, that one would take a while to write.
Yeah.
We've been thinking about another book, and it just, right now we're not sure which one we're going to go with. And it might take us a while to get one together.
Yeah.
There's lots of information that people want in a simple, easy to flip through, like the sweet potato. You want to be able to go to it and find it real easily, but we just hadn't decided yet which way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, porch time will continue as long as they allow us to.
Yeah, we'll
with it.
We'll keep doing porch time until they stop us. I mean, that's the only thing I can say.
Will Goji sticks grow in Michigan? I don't know.
I have no clue. They'll probably grow anywhere, to be honest with you.
You might have to take them in. If you're going to put them in a pot and you got somewhere you can put them in and not let them freeze. They do not do well in freezing weather. I do know that. It's called All God's Children. Danny's other channel.
Yeah.
He used to do a lot over there. He doesn't now, but All God's Children.
Yeah.
Carolyn says hers has been too. Yeah. I think they keep up with a lot of people that a lot of people don't realize they keep up with. Pray for my daughter. Safety. That's Veronica. Somebody said tomatoes. I vote tomatoes. Let's see, cul-de-sac. Did you see? Please pray for all the fires to stop. Yes.
That's been amazing that there has been, how many did we see?
One guy put out, it was 15 or 20 in this year alone.
Yeah.
He didn't even go back before 2022.
Right.
Only this year, and it was a lot of fires. And as he looked, each one of them happened on a Wednesday
or a
Thursday for the most part. Okay, that's really, really strange because we got 5 other days. How did none of them end up on other days? I mean, really, really strange. And one of them was an airplane this Thursday, I believe, hit which building? It was a General Mills?
A General Mills, a twin Cessna plane flew into a General Mills building.
It
flew
crashed.
into it. Just crashed into a General Mills building. I mean,
go figure.
On one of those days.
Yeah, I think it was a Thursday. And but they did say there's a landing field, an aircraft landing field close to it, and that people overshoot or something. So it's possible. Just crazy. Have you found that any of your private mail has been pre-opened when you get it? We don't get a whole lot of mail.
We don't get much mail at all. I mean,
we are very fortunate not to get too much mail, and so I haven't noticed that yet. The tornadoes and snowstorms always.
It's on Wednesdays or
I
Thursdays.
agree. It's almost.
They are.
Here we get. Well, it's according to where you're at, I guess.
Yeah.
Because ours seem to be, what is it, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday for the last few weeks. This is the, almost every week we know.
It's going to be on a Tuesday. Ours is usually on a Tuesdays.
Yeah. And we know every week we get our little system through.
Matter of fact, we have one coming this Tuesday.
Yeah. It's almost like clockwork. They're almost the same day every week. So,
Quaker Oats, Iowa fire last night.
Yeah, Miss Lippy had something that was opened. She sent, I think she sent some seeds to somebody, and when they got them, there was only 2 or 3 seeds in the package. And she sent Miss Lippy a message, and the envelope had been opened. Somebody had taken all the seeds out, but 2 or 3, and shut the envelope back and sent it to her. Somebody's stealing seeds now.
Well, that's going to be a way of surviving, you know?
Oh, that's so funny. Thank you, Kathy. She said she loves to sit and listen to us.
Yeah, but anyway.
With her tea.
Satan working overtime. That's right, Dorothy. That's right. And Russia has just created a new bomb called the Satan. It is a ICBM that can travel anywhere in the world. It can go over the North Pole, over the South Pole. It can reach any destination on the face of the earth now.
Northport, Florida hasn't had any real rain since February 22nd. Wow.
I'm going to be talking this week on Porch Time, guys, about something the financial institutions has just put out. I think you'll find that interesting. I'll give you a heads up on it anyway and tell you what we're going to be looking at this week.
Hills Mills says, coming our way next week, some lumber for the Farmall barn.
All right.
We're looking forward to
We're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to doing a video with you, my friends.
So be prepared.
Yes.
We are actually ready. I picked up 2 more gallons of stain, and I've got 3 or 4 in the barn. So I am ready to get to staining again. All right, so
okay.
We've got a lot of people asking for prayer requests. And,
lots of people here asking for prayer.
I don't even know. How do we pay for
insurance with NATO controlling the weather? Just don't. You come out way ahead if you'll save your money instead of paying on insurance.
You just won't be covered for anything.
Well, if you save your money, you can cover your own behind.
The man with the lumber mill is artist cutting. Yes, he is. He's very precise.
Very precise. Very good with what he does. Okay. All right.
We gotta
go to the Lord here and love the Farmall hat. Father, we thank you so much for your blessings upon our lives. It's so awesome to know that the Father that we serve and the God that we serve is the only one true living God that there is. There's lots of gods in the world, but there's only one true living God, and it is the God of heaven. And Father, we love you. We appreciate all that you do for us on a daily basis. And tonight we want to come before you on behalf of all these good people in here that have asked all these needs in their lives, Father. And we ask that you meet all these needs, whether it's physical or it's a spiritual need. Some of them mentioned, we talked this week to people talking about financial needs. Lots of people are having just, emotional needs that need to be met. They're stressing out about what's going on across the pond over there and what's fixing to happen in this country and the fact that we're living in the last days. And Father, you're telling us not to be concerned about these things because they must come to pass. And we've got to remember that you didn't let anything happen to your children in Egypt, whenever they was the plagues and all were coming through. And Father, we got to keep in our minds that you'll protect us in this country, even though we go through the things that this country goes through. Now, it doesn't mean we won't face them just like the rest of the country. It just means that you'll meet our needs during them. Even your children, you didn't keep them from the fire. You let them go through the fire, but you went with them. And Father, that's what we hold dear to our heart, is that we're not going to go through this alone. You're going to be there with us, whether it's a surgery or a financial issue or a collapse of an economy. It doesn't matter what it is, Father. We know that you're right there with us, and we so appreciate that. And I just urge each and every person here tonight, the one thing you need to prep for is your soul. I don't care how much food you have. I don't care how much water you have, how much land you have, what your assets are, if you're rich or poor. You know, it doesn't matter. If you lose your soul, you lose it all. And Father, I just pray that tonight all the people in here has made that final preparation, because none of us know the day nor the hour when our time will be up upon this earth here. And it is the fact that we know our destination that allows us to be able to live in perfect peace and harmony till our time comes. Father, once again, thank you for loving us. And tonight, I pray the blessings of obedience upon everyone here tonight. I pray for financial resources to be upon everybody here tonight. I pray that those that have mental problems, Lord, is stressed out about all these things, that you have not given us a spirit of fear, but you've given us the power and of a sound mind, Lord. All these things you've blessed us with here. And we claim these promises tonight on those that are having stressed out issues. And Father, we pray, we use the verse that's in James chapter 1, verse 13 and 14, saying, let no man say when he's tempted, I'm tempted of God, because God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man, but every man is tempted when he's drawn away of his own lust and enticed. And Father, we need to learn tonight that you're not the tempter, Father. You're the one that provides for us. And Father, thank you so much for that. Go with us, guide and direct us throughout this week. We ask this in thy name. Amen. All right.
And y'all, the more that we find out and the more we study and the more we get things in here, we realize more and more the spiritual war that we're in every day.
Yeah.
And
our greatest war right now is not man-made war.
No.
It's spiritual war.
It is spiritual.
Yeah.
And you guys, if you don't know God, you don't have Jesus as your Savior, that's the only thing that's going to get you through. It doesn't matter, like Danny prayed, what you have.
Yeah.
That is not going to get you through.
It's not going to
Well,
it's not going to change your eternal destination.
No. And whether you're here or you leave, you need to make that preparation.
Yeah. Yeah, you can prep for everything in the world and lose your own soul and still lose.
Yeah. And we don't want that for anybody. So
I want to be able to sit down. I want to be able to sit down by the river of life with every one of y'all at some point and just carry on a good conversation, you know?
And we do. We like our Saturday nights, but at some point we hope to meet a lot of you guys.
On the other side.
We've met a lot of people recently, too.
We have met a lot of people.
Yesterday, Melissa and
Greg,
her dad, Greg, came by, and we had a great time talking with them. Who else? We've had, I'm trying to think, there was somebody else came earlier, or was it last week?
Trevor came this week, and we grafted some trees for him.
Yeah. And we did a podcast Friday. If you guys aren't listening to our podcast, we talked about peace.
We talked about peace on our podcast. Yes,
and,
we did.
That was something that we didn't know what we were doing. We just kind of go with the flow when we hit a podcast.
Isabel, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Faith over fear. Yes, this is my new shirt. I think it's called sealedinchrist.com. Has these shirts.
I don't know. What's on the back of my shirt? I done forgot what's even on the back of mine.
Respect to protect my right. Respect my right to protect my rights.
Yeah. Respect my right to protect my rights. Yep. I don't care where you see me at, I'm carrying. It doesn't matter if I'm sitting in a church pew in a church or if I'm
in Walmart.
In Walmart, I'm carrying.
All right, so we got to get through.
All right.
If you guys are looking for the Goji sticks, remember to email me your address, and I'll pick a few, and I'm going to send them. And one person's going to get Ron Foster's book, The Bug Out Gardening Guide. The other two, Captain Bubba and Danielle.
Yep.
Was it Danielle?
Yeah.
Think. Y'all send me your address, and we'll get these out this week. Looking forward to seeing how many people can grow Gojis that want to grow Gojis. I think it's a good way to have protein. And y'all know we all need new sources in our
Yeah.
permaculture surrounding. That's what we've got a video coming up Monday.
Yep. All right. We're fixing to jump off of here, guys. Thank y'all so much for being with us tonight, and we look forward. To maybe one day in other side of life meeting each and every one of you. So have a blessed day. Thank y'all.